Good morning, Roman here, and thank you again for clicking on my channel once again. Um, I said if I did not have time, which I did not have time after the movie, I would film the last Scream until next week. um, Review slash rating, and that is what I'm about to do right now. But before I do that, let's cheers, shall we? So, hope everyone is doing fantastic today. Um, I know it's still early, so it's just like, how do we know? How do we know? Anyway, so picking up where five left off, the last surviving group of teens moved to New York, hoping for a fresh start, only to find out a new killer is picking up where the last Ghostface left off. And we have the returning castmates. We got Courtney Cox. We have Melissa Barrera. We have Jenna Ortega, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding, all returning for their, well, I guess for their part two. Gail has been in all of these. So, as I mentioned, the core four moved to New York for a fresh start. At least they hope for a fresh start. The opening sequence, which is one of its, so far one of its kind, one of a kind, killing. You think what is going to be the opening kill is not, right? So, Samara Weaving, who plays Laura, which they probably don't even need to give her a name because she's killed off so quickly. But since Radio Silence did these two, it's like, let's give you a little part and Scream, right? She's on the phone with her blind date, and supposed to be meeting up at this restaurant, this little trendy restaurant in New York, and he's lost, and he's like trying to have her help him find where the restaurant is, and blah blah blah. And so he's like, it's like a alleyway near the restaurant, and she's like, yeah. And so it's like she's going down there. And by the way, she's like a slasher film professor. I guess that's the way they described her. And when she goes down there, then Ghostface turns the voice on, and he's like, for slasher professor, you would think you would know better not to go down a dark alley all alone. And then he kills her in the alley, and it's a funny little quote. It's like, now I see something red, right? So, like, he stabs her a bunch of times, and then you would think like the opening title card would come up, but no. He reveals himself, and then that happens to be Tony. I think most people would know him from these new Spider-Man movies. He plays Jason, and he I guess, wanted to get it right. Like him and his roommate were trying to do Ghostface on their own, and so apparently Ghostface had already killed his roommate. He gets back and he was like so excited to tell his roommate what happened, and then that also come to find out that Ghostface is pretending to be his roommate and then asking questions of like what happened, blah blah blah, and he's like, well, what about the movie? It's like, fuck the movie, and it kills him too, and then that's when the title card opens up. There was in this movie quite a few little nods, Easter eggs to other horror films, like when Jason had walked into his apartment. Friday the 13th takes Manhattan, or I'm sorry, Jason Takes Manhattan was playing, nod to New York, a nod to a horror fan film. And throughout the movie, there are nods to certain other characters, like Ready or Not, there's the Babadook, there's Halloween, there's It, Hellraiser, so many little, like you could probably pause and just pick out like so many of them that were in the film. But this also takes place on Halloween, so there you go. So after that, Melissa's character Sam is seeing a therapist, and she feels like unsafe to open up because, for obvious reasons, when she did, he's like, I can't help you anymore, because she really revealed kind of like what happened during the time in Woodsboro. She revealed that her father is Billy Loomis, and she killed her boyfriend because he tried to kill her. Stabbed him like 21 times, I think it was. 20 something times. And he felt the need to not go on because I guess apparently he thinks that she's crazy. So she left there, went back to her apartment, tried to reach Tara, but she's unreachable. They happen to have a roommate named Quinn, and so it's like all three of them are living there. I never knew if Mindy lived there or not, but definitely those three live together. But New York is expensive. I don't know if it's any more expensive than California. Not sure. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So she asked Quinn, where's Tara? She's like, don't be mad. I'm like, why would I be mad? Because if I tell you where she's at, you'll be mad. And so she's like, she's at a frat party, and she's like, oh my god, if she like took her taser and everything, but it's like, I can't say how heavily she is guarded, but she went there and yeah, so she goes to the party to find her. Tara's kind of already a little lit. The twins are there along with Mindy's little new girlfriend. And some stuff goes down there, and Sam chases a guy that I guess was about to take advantage of Tara and the Bulls. And she's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that you just really embarrassed me." And so they're walking and I guess trying to get back to their apartment when these girls threw a soda on her, saying like, "You're a murderer," because that was like all over the internet that Sam murdered this guy kind of for no reason. Like she's the one who was behind the killings, which was untrue, obviously. But yeah, so that happened, and she gets back. They're all kind of like all over the place, and she's like, "Hey, I just can't talk to you right now." Talking, Tara saying that to Sam, and so Sam kind of runs into the across the building next door neighbor, which happens to be her love interest, which, by the way, he's pretty hot. His name is Josh Segarra, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not really sure what he's been in. I mean, he looks vaguely familiar, but I don't know. Just want to point out that he's hot. Step above Jack Quaid. Anyway, so it was on the news that those two guys had got murdered in their building, and I guess Sam wanted to take the initiative to like, all right, let's pack some bags and get out of here. And Tara's like, "Are you insane? Like after one murder, you want to leave?" She's like, "Yeah, it's Ghostface." So then Quinn calls her father, which is Detective Bailey, and like, okay. Then he wanted to talk to her. He says, "I think we're going to need you to come downtown so that we can talk." Apparently her license ended up at the crime scene and wanted to figure out why and how. And once they left the building, Ghostface calls her, as well as tries to attack her and Tara. They go to this little bodega literally around the corner, and this was like an interesting kind of new, almost brutal Ghostface in a way. Because like once he gets into the bodega, of course he's trying to hunt down Tara and Sam. Like he stabs the guy in the neck as he gets in there, stabs another guy. The guy behind the counter has a shotgun. He tries to shoot Ghostface, and and he's like telling the girls that go outside, go in the back. The door's locked, so it's like, we need the keys. And so once he does that, Ghostface pops up, stabs the guy in the neck, shotgun drops. Ghostface picks up the shotgun, shoots the guy in the face, but you don't see it. And then tries to get after the girls. But it was a lot of people, once this movie started coming out, a lot of people was like so upset that Ghostface is carrying around a shotgun. It's so crazy how people get so offended by one little thing. I mean, let's be honest. Almost after every reveal, they end up having a gun. Maybe not a shotgun, but maybe a 9mm. You know. But it wasn't like he was carrying it around the whole fucking time. It was just in the bodega, and it wasn't his. He just picked it up and started shooting people. There you go. There you go. So, with that being said, then they go downtown and speak to Detective Bailey. Then I guess like there was a jurisdiction situation because FBI was in on it or wanted had their jurisdiction. And who happens to be part of the FBI? No one other than Kirby Reed. Yes, she's back. Kirby Reed is back. And that's played by Hayden Panettiere. She looks great, but like that, I want to assume she was wearing a wig because not the best wig. But yeah, no. But I want to say like she did a pretty good job in this movie. I mean, I hope that she does return some ways somehow. I mean, she's still alive, so there's that. Yes, I spoiled it for you just in case you hadn't seen Scream 6. Where the fuck have you been if you haven't seen it yet? But trying to go forward, there definitely was an attack once but they were kind of like all in the apartment. You heard some noise, and the neighbor next door, which is the eye candy guy, Danny. He's like trying to get their attention because Ghostface is in their apartment. He already killed Quinn's, I don't know what to say, like for lack of a better word, boyfriend. Although she's very sex positive, we found that out. His guts are just kind of like all over the bed. Quinn probably did that. But who you don't see in this picture is Ethan. Ethan is now part of the friend group, and you're trying to, I mean, we're all trying to figure out like who Ghostface is, right? So people are getting stabbed, the wrists are getting slit. Even Mindy's girlfriend got stabbed in the stomach. And she's losing a lot of blood. So now they're trying to get across the way to where Danny lives. He puts a ladder out so they can crawl across. And poor Mindy's girlfriend. I forgot what her name is, but I want to say it's Danica. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, um, she doesn't make it. Ghostface is shaking the ladder, and as he does that, she just falls. She hits the 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 garbage thing, whatever you want to call that. Hits her face and then hits the ground, and her face just like really impaled. That was like one of the most brutal, aside from Scream 4 scenes, death scenes that I've seen in a Scream movie and in a long time, you know. Now, I'm trying to move on so this doesn't take too long to get through. Everybody, like, well, not everybody, but Detective Bailey's like trying to point fingers at Kirby because like she feel like she just came out of nowhere and he want to make it seem like it's her. So now he's mad that his daughter died along with Mindy's girlfriend, but she staged her death. Now they're all trying to get to, as they want to call it, the shrine. It's this theater where all past ghost faces are there, not like their bodies, but like little statues with their pictures in front of them. There's like artwork from like Dewey to Casey Becker, the boyfriend, Sydney, Tatum, you name it, people are there. And they're trying to kind of catch Ghostface there. But who gets left behind, because the train took off without her, was Mindy and Ethan. So Mindy gets attacked by a Ghostface, but then she's like, "Who did it?" Because they all kind of know that Quinn is dead. Ethan's there with her. Who's left? But once they get to the auditorium, at least she doesn't because she has to go to the hospital. They're all like, who is left? So they're all, now people are like, well, the 4 minus Mindy are all like, oh my god, maybe it is Kirby. Maybe she's like really lost her mind since the incidents in 2011, and she can't really fathom of like what's real, what's not, you know. But poor Kirby. It wasn't her, obviously. So then they come to find out it's Detective Bailey along with his son, what was his name? Ethan. It's like, that's your son? Well, then who's behind this ghost face? Because there was 3. That was Quinn. Like, I thought you died, but I kind of did. You know, that's what she's saying. Anyway, so there happened to be 3, and then they found out that who was their son that got killed, because that's why they wanted to kill her. That was their revenge, like that was their motive anyway, and trying to carry on the legacy of like making this movie. Who's Jack Quaid's character from from Scream 5. Yeah. They all were related. And, well, it all, um, Ghost, Ghostface kills, um, or Scream film. The Ghostface doesn't last, and they all died, and yeah. But I forgot about one little scene, and that's a chase scene between Gale and Ghostface. We're not really sure. I want to say maybe it was Quinn that was behind that, behind the mask. But I never bought any of them as Ghostface because, oh my god, as far as any Ghostface reveal and believing them, 5 and 6 was the worst. Like oh my god, y'all gotta do better. You really do. But yeah, so Ghostface was chasing Gale in her apartment, and she almost got away, but he came back through and stabbed her. She was losing a lot of blood, but she ended up surviving. Yeah, because if you see Scream 7, the trailer, she's in there. So yeah. Overall, this film was okay. It wasn't my favorite. I mean, there were some cool aspects with this film, and it was cool that they were in New York. The subway scene was cool. The opening was pretty interesting because no one had ever done that. But other than that, like the motive, the killers, boring. Yeah, I don't know. But it was cool that they went and made an actual New York in a whole nother country. Like it legit looked like New York. And so I applaud the team that built everything, made it look like New York. But yeah, anyway, so what is my ranking? I think I'm also going to give this a 6. And then after I get to see Scream 7, I'm going to do my ranking videos and figure out where they all belong. So far, I could say that it is Scream 2, Scream 4, Scream 3, then Scream 5 and 6. But yeah, that's it. Morning! But yeah, so that is the end of this. I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll see you the next time I do a video. All right, take care. Bye.